Hey guys, so this is the 10th part of the Minecraft 1.6.2 modern tutorial, and this time I'm going to extend our onion that we made in the last tutorial and make it do something, because right now it's just an item that does nothing. So we're going to make it a food that you can eat. We're also going to put an effect on it to show you how you can add effects to certain items, and also at the second half of the video I'm going to show some kind of block manipulation, I'm going to call it, but really all it is using something to make a structure. So, you know, an item that spawns a structure or something like that. So you can, you know, I'm going to do a simple, as you can see here, I've got a wall builder. So we're going to do that. It's just going to build a wall and have a quicker way to build a wall of the bricks it is just now. But you can make it more intricate. You can make it choose different items and the different blocks you're going to build with. And that's something we can go on to in future tutorials, where we look at stuff that we've already done, kind of, you know, the overlays, but also making sure that you can choose options with the overlays and stuff, so we can change the blocks that you build with using that or something like that. But that's for later. Just now we're going to just go for the basics of just putting the blocks where you want them to be, and we've already done one of the things similar to that with the crop, where we put the block the crop block above the block that you click on. So it's very similar to that, but kind of more detail. So let's get started. Okay, so here we go. Right, so we've got our onion class that we made last time. That's just an item just now. Not much to make this into a food, actually. All you need to do is, instead of extend item food, I'm going to have to import item food, and then it's going to moan about quite a lot of things. So we need to add some more things to the constructor. So it takes the ID as usual. Next, it takes a value that is the number of half food blocks that it heals. So an onion, say that heals 2 half blocks, will heal. Why am I doing that? Heal. An onion that does 2 half blocks of health will fill up one of the little hunger bar things, the kind of chicken legs or whatever it is on your texture pack that you use. The third one is something called the saturation of the food. The saturation. And the saturation is a kind of extra added on bit. So when you've got a full hunger bar, you've got 20 points of food, but you've also got the kind of added on bit before it starts depleting, because otherwise when you put the food bar up to full, it would start depleting straight away. So you've got this thing, then it's all the exhaustion levels that go towards that, and the saturation is just a kind of extra added on bit if it goes on at the top. That's usually quite small. You can get the table on the Minecraft. On the Minecraft wiki, you know, the original one, you can find the saturation values of all the foods that are in it on the page about hunger. So that's about it. And the last one is a boolean. And it's something I've never used it, but it's like, I'm just going to call it wolf, but it's true if this item of food is wolf meat, and false if not. There's probably some reason for that. So basically what we want to do is we want to put all these into the super constructor, and there we go. So that's that bit of the class done to make the food. Now what we need to do is we need to go into tutorial mode, and we need to go where we made our onion. Where is it gone? Here we are. So this is not going to be just a new onion with 802. Now we need to decide what we're going to do with it. So first, as I said, you need to figure out how many half food bar whatever is going to heal. I want it to heal 1 full food bar icon. Whoops, that's way too much there too. Okay. Saturation, most of the kind of foods seem to be around 1.2 to 0.8 or something. Onion's not going to be a very good food source as such, so I'm going to put 0.6, just a kind of value that I can think of. And it's obviously not wolf meat. So that's, what's that? Float, is that? And saturation. Have I done this wrong? Item food. It's a float, never mind. Don't know where I got int from. Okay, there we are. Let's save that. And then that should stop complaining, hopefully. Yeah, okay. I knew that was a float. Okay, anyway. That's our onion, now food. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it first before we add an effect onto it. So I will be back when this loads. Okay, so here we go. So I've got a creative mode called Onion Test 2, and we're just going to go into this and make sure the onion works before we go any further. Because once you put the effect on it, you'll be more inclined to check the effect rather than just the food value of it. So let's have a look here. So let's actually just grab ourselves. Where did I put onion again? Did I put it in here? No. Oh, I put it in food, didn't I? Put it in food. There's our onion. Let's get a few for later. Okay. Oh, laggy in here. Okay, let's move out of here, up here. And I'm going to put the game mode onto survival because we need it to be the hunger. Need the hunger bar to be. Oh, this is really laggy. What's going on here today? Let's see if I can take some food off me. Come on. Oh, crap. Okay, right. Let's wait till the food bar goes down a bit and we'll be able to see this. Why is this so laggy today? This whole recording thing plus playing Minecraft just kills my computer. It's not usually this bad though. Okay, let's try and... Come on. The hunger bar never goes down when you don't want it to. Ah, here we go. Right, okay. Let's try and... That's 1, so what we'll do is we'll leave it for a little minute so we can make sure it doesn't do more than that. There we go. Okay, so let's eat an onion. And it heals 1. Okay, so we have an onion that works. Okay, let's jump out of that just now. Okay, so now we need to add an effect to it, and basically all you need to do is go at the end, and I'm going to put set potion effect here. Now you want the one that's not, that set potion effect with the string is for something that's already built into Minecraft. We don't want that, we want to do our own. So let's bring this down a bit. Okay, so set potion effect takes 4 things. The first thing is the effect that you want. So I'm going to use one of the ones that's already there as well. So potion, it's capital potion, dot, and then you need to look for the one that you want. So the easiest one to check properly, well actually the most fun one to check is move speed. And move speed makes you speed up. You can do move decrease speed or whatever it's called, but they're all there. If you type potion and dot, and you'll see them all there. Parameter 2 is the time in seconds that you want it to be on for, so I'm just going to put it on for half a minute. You can put it on for a long time, very short time if you want, but that's what I'm going to do. This is the effectiveness of the thing you set in the first parameter, so move speed. So if you put it at say 2, you'll move slightly faster. If you move 4, it'll be quite fast. I'm going to put it at 10 because I did that earlier on and it was fun, because you go flying. And this last parameter is a float that's the chance of it actually affecting the player, and we always want an onion to make us go really fast. So 1.0 is going to be it, so it's between 0 and 1. So if you put an effect of 0. At 0.2, it might, you might have to eat quite a lot of onions before it makes you go really fast. And if you're making a proper mod, then maybe that's what you want. But okay, I'll fix that in a minute. But we want to test it properly. This potion.move speed here is moaning because I forgot to put .id at the end. This wants the ID of the potion, not just the actual potion effect thing. Okay, so that's just put the potion effect on. Yeah. Okay, so that's us done that. And oh wait a minute, there's an error. 2 minutes. I haven't saved it. That's one. Okay. Right, so let's test this again, and I'll be back when this loads again. Okay, that loaded up a lot faster than it did last time. Maybe I should load this up a couple of times before I start recording next time, because that was much faster. Okay, so now we've... Oh. Okay, I'm going to put this on creative, and I'm going to go somewhere where I've got enough space and a flat line. and hopefully it won't be so laggy because we want to be able to see this working properly. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sort these options. Let's put it on normal, see if that's better. Oh, what's this? What the? Oh, okay, that's one of those witches' house. I think I'm just going to stay away from that. Okay, that's not what I'm here for. Okay, so let's eat the onion. Oh, I'm not. Oh, let's make sure that's not going to attack us. Okay, so let's eat the onion. Oh, because that's the one problem about it. It's a food, so you need to have hunger to eat it. So we need to, even though we're only using this for the effect, you still have to be hungry to use it, which is a drawback of using a food with an effect. You could use some kind of item or another potion to do it, but just to show both of them at the same time, I decided to put it on a food, and I forgot that I need to make myself hungry. Okay, so there we go. And you'll see that now I've got a potion effect, and it goes speed. There we are. Oh, excellent. Jumping speed's a little bit strange because you slow down to jump, and sprinting is absolutely ridiculously fast. Okay, so I'm going to stop that before I have too much fun. Okay, so you can see that 10 is quite fast. 10 is probably not a number you're going to be wanting unless you're making some kind of OP mod, really overpowered onion. Okay, anyway, on to the next part of our tutorial. We're going to make an item that you right-click to build a wall. So it's a kind of quick way of building a wall, because you know, you always think of, you know, you build in Minecraft, it takes ages to build a wall, so why not have something that says, hey, I'm going to put down 12 blocks at once, maybe? Can't remember exactly what I'm going to do. It depends. I think I'll do 12. 12's nice. Okay, so what we want is we want an item. So I'm going to call it wall builder, because I think that's probably what the image is called. So there's a texture for it. It's just it's rubbish as usual, but take no notice of that. That's just there for show. Okay, so we want it to extend item as usual, and we do all this usual stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make the constructor and the texture, and then I'll be back to show you the things that are new. Okay, so I went ahead and did the constructor and the textures, so just, you know, same as usual, just item icon because we will need one texture. I've just put the max stack size to 1 because we're not going to use it up when we build the wall. And an extension to this would be to have a damage value whenever you use it, so you can only use it so much, but we're not looking at damage values at the moment. I'm just going to look at the simple, you know, item to use. Okay. So we have to make it spawn some blocks, and it's one method actually. It's just the one that gets called when you use the item. So public boolean on use item. Boolean, no, that's rubbish. On use item, and here we go again. Item stack. What else? We've got player. No, not player. Entity player. World. X. Y. Z. What else have we got? We've got the par7, int par8. I think it's float par9 and float par10. All these very useful things. Need to import all these things. Come on. Okay, and one more. Item stack. Okay, done. Okay, that's going to moan until we return something. Actually, let's just return true just now, because it's not that moan. Okay. Okay, let's go in here. So inside this method, we want to take the block that you click on and construct a wall around that. I'm not going to do it around it because, well, you could do it around it if you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that you click on a block and it builds the wall to the right of you, depending on which way you're facing. So that's the only complicated part of this, really. The code looks a lot more complicated than it really is. So right away, first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this. Oh, what was that? Don't want that. Okay, I'm going to set this thing like y2 to be y plus 1, and that's because when you click on the block, it takes the block under where you want to start building on, and we always want to build on the block above. So if we want to start on the block, instead of having to put y plus 1 plus whatever else, just make another thing called y2, and that will be easier for us. Okay, so if you remember from our chest value, which the chest lid, by the way, is just not happening at the moment, and I've no idea why. I can't seem to find anything why that's not working, so still working on that. Anyway, back to this. It's the same kind of thing for checking the front of it. So we've got this int l equals math helper dot floor double, floor underscore double, and then we want to put double in here. I'm just going to put this down because I talked about it in the previous video, so shouldn't need to say much about it. Player dot rotation yaw. Oops, what are we doing? Rotation yaw. The only difference between this is it was an entity player living base that we did the rotation yaw of before, but it's still an entity. They all subclass from that anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Times 4.0f divided by 360.0f to get you the angle. Then you want to add on this 2.5d thing, and then you want to AND it with 3 to get you what you want, this number between 0 and 3, telling you what direction you're facing. And it's actually, when you press F3 on normal Minecraft, and it says the capital F, and it says 0 south, or whatever it is, I can't remember exactly which one's which, but that's the number that comes out of this, so that's that. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to build the blocks to the right of the person. Now you need to check what this L is so that you can check which way to build. So I'm going to use a switch. Oops. Switch on L. If you haven't used switch before, it's just a long kind of if statement that's kind of used cases. So case 0, colon. I'm actually going to do all the cases and put all the commas in first. Actually, what I'm going to do while I'm doing this is, in each case you want to break, because if you don't break, say you were wanting a 0, so if you didn't put a break after the 0, the way a switch works, it'll go into 1 and 2 and everything after that, so it'll build a really weird, actually I think it would probably build a kind of strange cross-shaped structure if you didn't do that. Now if you want that, you can do that without messing around with case the way it's not meant to be used. Well, you can use it without break if you really want to. There are reasons why you would want to do that, but here we only want one of these to happen. The case 3 doesn't need a break because there's nothing under it, so we don't need to do that. Okay, but before the break we need some stuff. This is going to be similar for each time, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to write it once, then copy and paste it and change what we need to change. So we want a couple of for loops, because you don't want to write 12 lines of code for 12 blocks. I mean, imagine if you had 100 lines being 100 blocks being generated, you'd need 100 lines for this. So we want to do it in loops because that's a kind of easy, well, it's a more nice way to do it because you don't have to type as much. So I'm going to do for i0 to 4, adding on 1 each time. So that's going to do it 4 times, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And for each of those, so that's going to be the 4 horizontal lines, and then we're going to do that 3 high. Okay, so it's going to be a 4 long 3 high wall. So we want another loop inside this for j equals 0 to 3. Now you wanted a bigger wall, you could make 4 and 3 much bigger if you wanted to, adding on 1 each time again. And then all we need to do is take the world and set the block at, so this is going to be the one where you want it to run. It always wants to run to the right and you're going to the north, so the x value must change in the positive direction. So you want to do x plus I. Because it starts at 0, the x value will happen at the start, so it won't add on anything in the first iteration round, because 0 is the first I value that comes to, which means it will build where you want it to start. Simple as that. Y2 is what we're using, plus j. So having x plus I and y2 plus j is going to mean it's going to be a kind of grid thing. So it'll be a kind of grid thing that kind of builds the blocks up, block by block. Okay, the third one is going to be z, so that's just going to stay the same in this case. And then the fourth parameter is the ID of the block you want to put down, so I'm going to put bricks down. Block.brick.block ID. Okay, done. So that's that first for loop, so we want to copy that and paste it down to here. So, number 1. This is when you're facing east. So, when you're facing east, x has to stay the same, but you want z to increase in the positive direction because it goes towards, that way, you would really need to draw a picture if you don't understand which direction to go in. Just think about what direction you're facing in and what way the number's going to go up. So, x is going to stay the same because you're staying on the same plane. Y2 plus j is always going to be the same, and z is going to increase in the x-axis by adding I onto that. Okay? Simple. Okay. Now we get to 2, and 2 is where it gets a little bit more interesting because we're going south now. South means that it's the opposite of the north one. Now, north, you want the x to increase going along. South, of course, if you want it to go the proper way and you don't want it to go the other way and make a kind of stupid, like kind of to the left of your build, you want to take away from the x value. So what we want is we want x to decrease by I each time and z to stay the same. And then for the last one, where we're facing west, you want it to be the opposite of east, so you can probably guess what it's going to be, z minus I. Okay, I'm just going to check I've got these right, because when I was testing this earlier on, I kept putting 1 in the space of I and wondering what was going on. Yep, they all look fine. Okay, so that's us really. That's us set up to build a wall each time we click. We've got, and this item will help us do it. Okay, so let's run this and I'll join you again when it's loaded. Okay, so let's go for this. Let's go for wall. Put it on creative so I can grab one of these because I don't have any way of making one. I haven't put a recipe in for it. No need to. I'm not going to be using this as a proper mod, so just remember when you're making your prop mods, make recipes for all the items and stuff like that. I'm sure you know that kind of stuff anyway. Okay, wow. I need a kind of flat place. That's put me back onto far, hasn't it? No, it hasn't. Right, let's 2 seconds. Let's get rid of all these stuff. Put it to short so it just get a little bit less laggy. Okay, there we go. So it's not going to be laggy anymore. I put it in the tab that. Did I? You know what I've forgotten to do? I've actually forgotten to do the thing, and I'm getting ahead of myself yet again. I've done that quite a few times. We need to make it down here. Okay. Let's go through that. Public static final item, and it's a wall builder equals new wall builder, and let's give it, what are we on, 800 and something, 810. Just keep them away from each other. Then, as usual, down here, we want to, for our items, we want to language register it and give it a name. Wall builder, and you want to give it a wall builder. Why not? Okay, so I will launch this again. Okay, so I've jump cut a little bit from a minute ago. On use item is actually on item use. I did that too fast, didn't realise I'd done that. swap those two words around, and that will be fine because it doesn't do anything when you don't put that in. So just change on use item to on item use, and that should be okay. So okay, yet again, correction number 2. That parameter 8 there, I had that as an int. That was actually a float. Whoops. What have I done? Okay. What have I done with this? Okay, I'm not going to bother trying to. I have no idea what I've done there. I'll just set it to full screen actually, see if that works. Okay, right, let's try this again. Okay, build the wall please, there we go. Because of the snow takes up the block, so it's going to build it there. So I'll need to move over it and take away the snow. Come on, game, stop lagging. Okay, there we are. So it builds our 4x3 wall to the right of where we are. Let's go for that. There, I'm just going to do it and stop the snow. There we are, and there. So it means that with this item that I've created, you can build walls very, very easily and make structures without having to right-click loads and loads of times. And this is kind of, I guess it'd be useful. Anyway, so that's us, so I'll quit out of that. Finally, a couple of errors there, so remember float par8 instead of int par8, and on item use instead of on use item. Okay, so in this tutorial we have made our onion do something instead of just sitting there. So we've given it the ability to be a food by doing that stuff, and given it the, where are we here? Yeah, we've given it the food values, and then we've given it a move speed increase by a hell of a lot, which is pretty fun to run about like that. And also built a wall builder, which is kind of a way to show you how you can just create structures with the set block method. Okay, so that's us. Coming up next, I've got a couple of things that I'm planning to do. One thing that I really want to get done this time, if not or next time, is something to do with mobs, because I think that's something that everybody wants to put into the game, some mobs, and something about biomes and generating stuff. It's kind of more complicated stuff, but it should be right. So thanks for watching, and any questions again to the comment section, feel free. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.